Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in the Holy Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la taqulu ra'ina wa qulu unzurna wasma'u walil kafirina adhabun alim. O you who believe, say not to the beloved messenger, peace be upon him, say not ra'ina, but say unzurna, and listen attentively to his course. And for the disbelievers there is a painful torment. Ma yawaddu alladhina kafaru min ahli alkitabi walal mushrikina an yunazzala alaykum min khayrin min rabbikum wallahu yaqtassu bi rahmatihi man yasha wallahu dhul fadlil azim. Neither the disbelievers amongst the people of the book, Ahl Kitab, and nor the polytheists, the mushrikeen, would wish that there should be sent down to you any good from your Lord, but Allah chooses for His mercy whosoever He wills, and verily He is the possessor of great bounty. From the past few lectures, we have been discussing and addressing the accounts of Jews, that how they were disobedient, their disrespectful manner towards Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, and also towards the beloved of Allah, the beloved Prophet of Allah, the Holy Prophet Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. It was in their disobedience that they would reach far and far extents of disrespect. And we have already highlighted while interpreting various verses of the Holy Quran that the Jews would disrespect the Prophet of Allah, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, at a number of times. For instance, the Jews would say that Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salam was not a prophet of Allah, as we discussed in the previous lecture and the lecture before that the Jews would say that look at him, look at Muhammad, what is he even trying to say? That Sulaiman is a prophet of Allah, when the Sulaiman we know of was not a prophet, is not a prophet, but was a magician. So they would disrespect not only Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salam, but also the Holy Prophet Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And then the blessed verse of the Holy Quran was revealed, wherein Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala confirmed that Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salam was amongst the faithful ones. He was amongst the believers, hence he was also a prophet of Allah, and he was not a magician. So the Jews, as we have been contemplating, as we already contemplated while interpreting various verses of the Holy Quran, that the Jews would time and again, they would endeavor and engage in disrespect towards the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. So now there another act of betrayal and there another act of disrespect directed towards the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, is being disclosed by Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala in this blessed verse of the Holy Quran. So in this blessed verse of the Holy Quran, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala addresses the far extent of the jealousy of Jews and their reputation for obstinacy. The Jews would intentionally use such words which would have double meanings. The word ra'ina, they would intentionally use such words, particularly in the blessed court of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, which would have double meanings. While one meaning of the word would seem alright, upright, the other meaning of the word, the synonym of that word, and the other meaning of that word would have a flaw, a material error in it, one that would highlight or hint towards disrespect. So the Jews would in such a manner use such words which would have double meanings, so that they may disrespect the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, na'uzubillah, and then get away from it as well. So the Jews would use such words, and then when they would be confronted as to why did they use such a word, they would say that we were not being disrespectful at all. We meant the other meaning of the word. However, that was their ill safeguarding measure when they were in actual disrespecting the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. However, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala then, through the revelation of this blessed verse of the Holy Quran in particular, forbade the Muslims and the blessed companions of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, as well, from using such words for the beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, for the Holy Prophet, beloved Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, such words which would have double meanings and would then in turn be construed as disrespectful. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, through the revelation of this blessed verse of the Holy Quran, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala categorically restricted, and Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala clearly said not to use such words of double meanings. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la taqulu ra'ina waqulu unzurna wasma'u walil kafirina adhabun alim. O you who believe, say not Ra'ina, to whom? To the beloved messenger, peace be upon him. But say unzurna, and listen attentively to his discourse. And for the disbelievers, there is a painful torment. So now Allama Qurtubi rahmatullah alayhi, he says that Hazrat Ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu states that Muslims would seek the favor and attention of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, while using the word Ra'ina. On the other hand, in the dictionary of Jews, the word Ra'ina was used for cursing someone. While Muslims would use this word Ra'ina very humbly in the court of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, for the purposes of gaining the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him's favor and attention. However, the same word Ra'ina had a different meaning altogether in the dictionary of Jews. So the Jews would then, while taking advantage of this word Ra'ina having a double meaning, the Jews would say the word Ra'ina at first. So at first they would curse, na'uzubillah, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, in isolation and secretly. And now when they had this venue, the use of the word Ra'ina, a double meaning word, they would endeavor towards cursing the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, na'uzubillah, in the public and in the gatherings as well. And then when they would be confronted by the blessed companions of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, that why do you use such a word? They would say, we never considered disrespecting the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. We were merely gaining the attention and favor of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. But that was the dictionary of Muslims. In the dictionary of Jews, the word Ra'ina meant cursing. It was a curse which was directed at someone. So in this way, they would disrespect the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, in private. But now through the use of such double meaning words, particularly the example of Ra'ina, they would engage in disrespect towards the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, in the public as well, in gatherings as well. Thus in this manner, the Jews would utterly disrespect the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, while they would use the word Ra'ina repeatedly. And then they would look at each other with an evil grin. Because they had the safeguarding measure. They would say that we were not disrespecting the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. We meant the other meaning of this word, when in actual they would have this evil grin on their faces, and they would thereby confirming, the evil grin would thereby confirm that this, what they're saying, is a lie. When in actual what they are up to is, na'uzubillah, God forbid, disrespecting the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. Hazrat Sa'd bin Mu'az radiyallahu ta'ala was a learnt man who had knowledge of the dictionary of Jews as well. So when he witnessed the Jews using the word Ra'ina, the double meaning word, he cursed them and said, if I listen this word directed towards the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, again from you people, I will behead you at once. A beloved companion of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, he got so angry. He was a learnt man, and he knew of the dictionary of the Jews. He knew that this word Ra'ina was a double meaning word, and that in the dictionary of Jews, this word meant a curse directed towards someone. And thereupon Hazrat Sa'd bin Mu'az clearly and categorically he stated, and he said to the Jews, if I listen this word directed towards the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, even once again from you, I shall behead you at once. The Jews then replied that do you people not use the same word as well? And why is it that you people use this word and you do not say anything to your fellows, but when we use this word, you say this to us, that if we use this word even once more, you shall behead us? So it was in this instance that this blessed verse of the Holy Quran was revealed, which stipulated to the Muslims that when you are unable to understand something, do not use the word. When you are not sure of the meaning of a certain word, do not use that word for the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. So do not use the word Ra'ina, but use the word unzurna instead, which meant, O Prophet of Allah, have mercy and favor upon us. Do not use the word Ra'ina, which is a double meaning word, but instead use the word unzurna, O Prophet of Allah, peace be upon him, have mercy, have favor, have mercy and favor upon us. So that the Jews would then not have the opportunity that they may use the right word for their wrong and ill intentions and ill purposes. Moreover, this blessed verse of the Holy Quran also stipulated that, O Muslims, pay attention. The first time when my beloved has to say something to you, meaning thereby, do not let my beloved repeat things. Because it may disturb him, do not let my beloved repeat things. Be very clear, be very precise when you talk to him. When you ask him something, this is what the Holy Quran says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la taqulu ra'ina wa qulu unzurna wasma'u walil kafirina adhabun alim. O you who believe, say not ra'ina, but say unzurna, and listen attentively to his discourse. So in this blessed verse of the Holy Quran, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala clearly forbade even the Muslims from using such words which were double meaning words and then directing them towards the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. So therefore Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala said, do not use the word Ra'ina, because it is a double meaning word. While it is a fine word in your dictionary, in the dictionary of Jews, this word is referred to a curse which is directed towards someone. Therefore, do not use this word. Why? Because the Jews would take use of this for their ill intentions, for their ill gains. Instead, use the word unzurna, have mercy, have favor upon us. O Prophet of Allah, unzurna, have mercy upon us, have favor upon us, so that the Jews would not have the opportunity. And secondly, this blessed verse of the Holy Quran also stipulated to the Muslims that pay attention at once. Pay attention at once. When my beloved has to say something to you, pay attention, so that he may not have to repeat what he has said. So the use of the word Ra'ina has now been prohibited, and it has been prohibited at other instances as well. At another instance in the Holy Quran, this word has been prohibited. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in the Holy Quran, مِنَ الَّذِينَ هَادُوا يُحَرِّفُونَ الْكَلِمَ عَمَّ مَوَاضِعِهِ وَيَقُولُونَ سَمِعْنَا وَعَصَيْنَا وَاسْمَعْ غَيْرَ مُسْمَعٍ وَرَائِنَا. Again, the word has been referred to in this blessed verse of the Holy Quran. Musma'in wa ra'ina. Among the Yahud are those who distort words from their proper places and say, we have heard and we disobey, and you listen to us, but do not make us listen to say ra'ina, twisting their tongues and taunting in faith. This is the Holy Quran. So in the dictionary of the Jews, the word ra'ina had another meaning, which was a shepherd, a person who tends or rears sheep. So they would try to make fun of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, in such a manner, and thereby disrespect the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. Thereby, in this blessed verse of the Holy Quran, categorically Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala forbade even the Muslims from using such words, using the word Ra'ina, a word containing double meaning, a word having double meaning to it. Imam Ibn Jarir radiyallahu ta'ala narrates from Ibn Zayd that Ibn Zayd, that they would twist their tongue, the Jews, and instead of using the word Ra'ina, they would use the word Ra'in instead, which meant an error. Thus, in this manner, they would say that the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, was the one who committed an error, and thereby again disrespect the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. This was also recognized in the Holy Quran, that they are engaged in such a disrespectful manner. Now my Pir o Murshid, my father, my mentor, my spiritual guide, my axis, my direction, Sayyidi Shaykh Ahmad Mohsin Munawar Yousafi, he states from this blessed verse, we also learn that if from a certain right thing there is also a path leading astray, then to remain safe, one should leave and abstain from doing that right thing as well. Why? Because there might be a chance that the person might go astray from that path. For example, the use of the word Ra'ina. While this word does have a meaning which is right, but this word also is a curse in the dictionary of use, in the dictionary of Jews. So therefore, using such a word and directing it towards the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, has now and has been made impermissible by the Holy Quran itself. There are many examples from the blessed Holy Quran and the blessed ahadith of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, which also confirms this. For instance, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala states in the Holy Quran, وَلَا تَسُبُّ الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ فَيَسُبُّ اللَّهَ عَدْوًا بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. And do not abuse whom they worship besides Allah, because they will abuse your Lord out of spite through their excessiveness and ignorance. So it is a consensus amongst the scholars of Islam that disrespecting the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, is an outright act of disbelief and kufr. Uttering even a single word takes a person outside the bounds of Islam and enters him into kufr if he tries to disrespect the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. And as per the scholars of Islam, there is a unanimous agreement across the board that such a person who disrespects the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and thereby engages in blasphemy is liable to being killed. And the state should take account of that. Moreover, there is a disagreement amongst the scholars, prayer for forgiveness will ever be accepted. The one who commits disrespect towards the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. In that regards, there is disagreement amongst the scholars whether his prayers will ever be accepted. So whether the person disrespects the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, his blessed family, his religion, or his personal traits, characteristics, he is liable of being killed. This is the judgment of the Holy Quran. And thereby states and countries should take account of that. So whenever Qazi Ayaz Maliki writes that the scholars have unanimously agreed that the person who disrespects the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, is a disbeliever and he will be subjected to the wrath of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, and it is permissible for the state, for the ummah, to take action against such a person and to kill him if need be. State should take action in that regard, in particular. And the person who doubts on such a person's faith and the wrath will be subjected to be also a disbeliever. He will also be observed as a disbeliever. The person who doubts in such a person's faith. It is very clear, the person who disrespects the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, he can never be a Muslim. He can never be a believer. He can never be a faithful. And he will be observed to have committed blasphemy, a blasphemous act. There was once a disagreement between a Jew and a hypocrite who would call himself a Muslim, and the Jew was on the right hand. The Jew was on the right. But what that Muslim, what that hypocrite, what he was trying to say was against the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. So the matter was that there was a disagreement over a certain matter between a Jew and a certain hypocrite who would call himself a Muslim, but the Jew was on the right. When the Jew decided to take that Muslim to the blessed court of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, for the purposes of deciding on that matter and putting forth a judgment, he thought that he will not be able to gain an unfair advantage in the blessed court of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. Not the Jew, but the hypocrite who would call himself a Muslim. The Jew said, right, we have this disagreement over this certain matter, over this certain issue. Let's take this matter to the blessed court of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, for he decides on justice. He decides fairly. But that hypocrite who would call himself a Muslim, he knew that the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, was fair in dealings. And the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, was very fair in dealings, and that he will never be able to gain an unfair advantage in the blessed court of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. Therefore, he asked that Jew to go to the Jewish scholar Ka'b bin Ashraf instead. The Jew did not agree. However, they somehow took the matter to the blessed court of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and since the Jew was in the right, the decision by the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, was also in favor of Jew, an evidence confirming that the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, was always fair. He was always fair. So when the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, decided in favor of the Jew and decided against that hypocrite who would call himself a Muslim and who would showcase himself as a Muslim, that hypocrite was left unsatisfied. And with the decision of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, he took the matter to Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. However, when he came across Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, the Jew told Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu that we have just come from the court of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. We had this issue and we had a disagreement over this matter, but the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, decided in favor of myself. And the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, decided against this person who would call himself a Muslim. However, Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu also decided in favor of the Jew. The hypocrite again did not accept the decision of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu as well. He then took the matter to the court of Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, a beloved companion of the beloved Messenger, peace be upon him, thinking that Hazrat Umar might give him an unfair advantage and decide in his favor. So when the Jew and the hypocrite who would call himself a Muslim, when he visited Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and the Jew told him that this hypocrite who would call himself a Muslim did not accept the decision of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and the decision of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, as the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, decided in my favor, and against this hypocrite, and Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu also decided in my favor and against this hypocrite, and therefore we have come before you in your blessed court so that you may decide on that matter. It is this hypocrite who has dragged me now to your court as well, whereby the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, whereas he had already given forth a judgment on this and decided in my favor. Having heard this, Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he at once asked them to wait, and he went inside and brought an unsheathed sword, and he beheaded the head of that hypocrite and firmly stated, the person who does not accept the decision of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala and His Prophet, peace be upon him, I deliver my decision for such a person in such a manner. This was the judgment. Swift action was taken. Swift justice. Justice was delivered. Anyone who disrespects Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, anyone who disrespects the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, the answer to that is one, and it is certain and it is affirmative, that Islam does not consider that person to be amongst the faithful ones, and action will be taken against him. Swift action will be taken against him. And we have clear example of Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He never considered the other options. He only considered one option, and that was to behead that person. So the message here is very clear and very precise and very certain. The hypocrite did not use any bad words for the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, but he refused to. And the hypocrite did not, who would apparently call himself a Muslim, he didn't perhaps abuse the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, or use any bad words, any harsh words. But what did he do? He simply rejected the decision of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. And Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala, one of the caliphs of Islam and one of the blessed companions of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, he construed and interpreted the refusal of the decision of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, also a matter of disrespect. And thereby he delivered his swift judgment and justice. May Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala enable us and guide us in respecting the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and in ensuring that no one speaks ill of our beloved Messenger, peace be upon him, of the beloved of Allah, the beloved of all, the Holy Prophet, Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. To access the same lecture in Urdu, please click on the link available below in the description.